Jungkook was very much disturbed from last night's incident. No matter how much he tried, he can't forget their taunting. He comes back to reality hearing the ringing of his phone. Cook receives the call. Hello? Receptionist. Sir, Mr. Young is here and wants to meet you. Cook's POV. Why he is here now? Cook replied, Tell him I am busy. Receptionist. He is insisting, sir. Cook. Fine, send him. Soon Mr. Young enters his cabin. Jungkook asked, Why are you here, Mr. Young? There is no way I am investing after last night. Mr. Young. Mr. Jeon. He was about to sit, but seeing Jungkook's glare, he decides to stand. I'm so sorry about last night, and I'm here to apologize on my friend's behalf. Cook. I'm not interested. You can leave. Mr. Young. Mr. Jeon, I know you are hurt by their words, but you can't avoid it. They were making you aware of your upcoming future. Jungkook asked, What do you mean? Mr. Young, if you don't control Mrs. Jeon, then she will take over your company, business, and entire property. Jungkook, don't you think you are crossing your limits? Mr. Young, I am your well-wisher, Mr. Jeon, and I am just giving you advice. If you ever want to get rid of her, don't hesitate to contact me. He turns around to go when Jungkook speaks. Wait, what do you mean by getting rid of her? Mr. Young smirks. I got it that you are not happy with this relationship. Am I right, Mr. Jeon? Jungkook, come to the point. Mr. Young, well, he tells Jungkook his idea. Cook, no, I don't want her to get hurt and then get involved with the police. No one will know, Mr. Jeon. I know him for a long time. He is an expert in these things. He will do his work without getting caught. Moreover, you have to hurt her to make her leave from your life. Cook, but think calmly, Mr. Jeon. You will never get this opportunity again. Later at night, Yoon was reading a magazine when Jungkook came. Instead of ringing the bell, he puts the password and walks in. He went straight towards his bedroom without glancing at her. Yoon didn't want to get into another argument, so she just avoided him, but something grabbed her attention. Yoon. Was he whistling? This is the first time I have heard him whistling. The way he left the house in the morning, I thought he is going to come back with a gun and shoot me. Anyways, good for me. Yoon was walking by his bedroom when she heard him talking to someone on phone and laughing. Yoon. He is laughing. He really seems to be in good mood. What can be the reason? She shrugged off and went to her room. Next morning, Yoon was making breakfast when Jungkook came and sat on the table. Seeing Yoon confused, he spoke. Can you serve me, please? Yoon. You wanna eat breakfast with me? Jungkook just nodded. Yoon thinks, is he guilty for yesterday's behavior? He can just apologize to me directly. They starts eating. Yoon says, Jungkook, I'm going out today. Cook. What? Where? Yoon. Sarah wants me to accompany her for shopping. Cook thinks, oh no, she needs to be home, otherwise my plan will go in vain. No, I can't let that happen. Cook. You can't go. Yoon. Why? We are going to a party. He lied. I will pick you up in the evening. Yoon. Jungkook, are you alright? I mean, do you have a fever or something? Cook. I'm absolutely fine, Yoon. You want to take me with you? Clearing his throat. I don't have another choice. One of our business partners is throwing this party and he has asked me to bring you with me. That's all. Yoon. Oh, Okay, I will wait for you. By the way, Jungkook, you seemed happy last night. Did you get any big project? Well, the biggest problem of my life is going to be solved. Yoon laughed lightly. I thought I'm your biggest problem. Cook thinks, you're right, Mrs. Jeon Yoon. You are my biggest problem, and I'm going to get rid of you forever. This gonna be your last day in my house. Yoon calls him Jungkook. Jungkook. Cook replied, Oh, I'm getting late. He stands up. Yoon says, Goodbye. Yoon felt so happy. This was the first time she would go with him. Yoon, I think I was right. He is guilty for his behavior. That's why he wants me to come with him. At night, Yoon's POV. It's 8 p.m. Where is he? Neither he informed me anything, nor picking up my calls. She threw her phone angrily on the couch. Another 15 minutes passed when she heard the doorbell. It's definitely Jungkook. She rushed towards the main door and opened it without checking, but her smile dropped seeing a stranger. Yoon asked, Yes? Stranger, are you Mrs. Jeon? Yoon, yeah. How can I help you? Flashback ends. It's 9:30 p.m. Jungkook returns after an hour. He walks inside the house with a wide smile. There was complete silence. Cook calls, Yuna, Yuni. He thinks, Where are you, Mrs. Jeon? I think she can't face me. That's why she is hiding. He looks around in search of Yoon. Soon, he saw someone's feet beside the couch. He walks closer. Yoon? An unknown fear rushed in his mind. Cook thinks, Why is my heart beating so fast? As soon as he sees the scene, his bag falls from his hand. He couldn't believe his own eyes. He immediately crouched down, trying to wake her up. Cook. Yoon! Yoon! Getting back consciousness, she tried to push Jungkook away from her. Yoon, in a low voice, Leave me. Jungkook, help, leave me. She tried to push him, but didn't have enough energy left in her body. She fainted again. Jungkook pats her cheeks. Yoon, it's me, Jungkook. Look at me, Yoon. Her condition, her torn up clothes, the wounds and scratches on her body were enough to speak on her behalf. Jungkook understood what could have happened to her, but his heart wasn't ready to accept. He picked her up and rushed out of the house. Placing her in the back seat, he drove to the hospital. At the hospital, the doctor was checking her while Jungkook was standing outside impatiently. He wasn't in a state to think of anything. Soon the doctor walks out of the cabin. Mr. Jeon, I'm sorry, but someone has ravished your wife. We have treated her wounds and given her medicine, but... Cook. But what, doctor? In such cases, patients get emotionally broken. You have to be strong and stand by her side. We need to wait until she wakes up. One more thing. According to the protocol of our hospital, we have already informed the police. Cook sits on the chair thinking what just happened. He remembers her screams. That means she was asking for help. I was there, but I ignored her screams. She was helpless. She was calling me for help. But I am such a jerk that I left from there. If I knew the reason behind her screams, he couldn't hold back his tears. This all happened because of me. I wanted her to live from my life, but I never planned to harm her. Who did it? Was it him? He takes out his phone and dials a number, but it was switched off. He dials Mr. Young's number, but he didn't pick up. Jungkook, darn it. 2 hours passed. Yoon was still unconscious. Jungkook was sitting beside her. Suddenly, he feels her moving restlessly as if she was having some nightmare. Jungkook called her name. Yoon? Yoon, what happened? Right then, a nurse entered. Cook pleaded, Please call the doctor. She immediately went out to call the doctor. Cook, Yoon. He placed his hand on her cheek when she opened her eyes. Yoon, no, leave me, leave me. Jungkook, help, help. She started screaming again. Cook said, Yoon, look at me, it's me, Jungkook, Yoon. The doctor rushed inside along with the nurse. Doctor, Mr. Jeon, please wait outside. To the nurse, push the injection. She pushed the injection and Yoon fell asleep. Jungkook was waiting for the doctor. He couldn't help his tears. All of this happening because of me. Why did I do this? I won't leave that young and his man. I will tell everything to the police.